net, you know that it's going to be a good night for San Diego. They rely on these guys in front of the net to put the ball in the goal. Look for both of these players tonight to have big matches if their team is going to have success on the field.
San Diego's last trip to Louisville in the regular season expects to be a really entertaining affair in Louisville tonight. Fourth in the East, hosts fourth in the West. It's a titanic encounter in the USL Championship, and the kickoff is coming up next.
If you own an Apple TV, Roku, or Fire TV,
make sure to download WDRB Plus.
Overtime brings the hottest sports takes to WDRB Plus.
You bet. We bring a wide range of topics and bring a unique insight to all things sports.
When the Thompsons first bought their house, all they saw was their dream home. They didn't yet know that with a home equity line of credit from Commonwealth Credit Union, it would be their keys to epic cannonballs and the chance to see the world. As years went by, it allowed them to empower the next generation and make happily ever after come true. Which begs the question, what could your home be doing for you? Let's find out together. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
The smell of perfectly baked pizza and the sound of the big game is what you'll find at Boom Buzz Pizza and Watch Bar. Boom Buzz has been serving Louisville its award-winning menu for over 25 years. It's everything a sports fan could want before, during, or after a big game. Whether it's a traditional cheese pizza or an award-winning famous pizza, we got something for everyone. Calzones, cheesy pasta bakes, a fantastic kids menu, or a loaded hot sub. Boom Buzz is crafted for you. Eat, drink, watch at your favorite Boom Buzz. BoomBuzz.com for daily specials.
The show the pros watch is now on the CW. Inside the NFL, this Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
Sean St. Jacques, Jeff Attinella back here with you, getting you set for a huge encounter tonight in the USL Championship. Fourth place Louisville in the Eastern Conference plays host to fourth place in the West, San Diego Loyal, in their last regular season trip to Lynn Family Stadium. Let's jump into the starting lineups, brought to you by Breeze Airways. And Jeff, we begin with the 11 that Danny Cruz has put together for the hosts.
Strong lineup here from Louisville. The exciting one with this one is Brian Obi's return to the starting lineup. He's healthy enough to play. When he's on the field for Louisville, look for him to create, look for him to unlock this defense, and also look for him to set his pressure with the press. He really dictates a lot of what Louisville is able to do, so to have him healthy is huge for this big matchup.
It really is. 3 goals, 4 assists for Brian Obi. Get to see him a little bit more. Coming back from an injury, get to see him back in full display tonight. Nate Miller's San Diego Loyal is also a star-studded starting 11.
Yeah, in our conversation with Coach Nate Miller, we talked about how he's going to use his midfield to try to unlock that Louisville press. So one of the players that we want to take a look at is Joe Corona. He's going to be vital in this moment where he's a big player. He has 3 goals on the season, but look for him to get the ball from his defenders, connect with his forwards, trying to find those open spaces so that they can unlock that press that Louisville's going to bring them tonight.
We're really excited for this encounter. Just the 3rd all-time meeting between these two, and unless they meet in a USL Cup final, it'll be the last meeting between these two, and what an occasion for it to be here at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville's won the first 2 meetings between these two. We'll see if San Diego can get a win tonight on enemy territory. It is San Diego Loyal in their gorgeous orange kits that get us started. Louisville are in their beautiful purples, and it is San Diego that will be going from left to right here on ESPN+. These teams are both on 43 points, both in 4th place in their respective conferences, and both pushing for home playoff games once we get to the middle weeks of October and the playoffs get started. It's arguably the game of the night in the USL Championship, and we are excited to bring it for you. Louisville on the attack early on here. Brian Ownby back into the starting lineup. He's been more of a super sub in recent weeks for Louisville. His attack is snuffed out, and Tumi Moshaban tries to control for San Diego. Elijah Winder is able to win the challenge. And Danny Cruz's bunch get the ball right back. And then Perez tries an incisive ball in behind, and it's handled by San Diego's goalkeeper, Koke Vegas.
You can already tell early on a bit of the theme of tonight's match. Louisville's going to come out and press. They're going to press hard. They're going to fly at the ball. They're going to press often. San Diego's going to try to unlock them with passing. So look for San Diego to have different pattern players. Look for them to connect, pass, and move, while Louisville's going to throw players at the ball and try to make life as uncomfortable as possible for San Diego as they try to build up out of the back.
San Diego's coming off a tough 2-0 defeat against the Charleston Battery last time out. Nate Miller actually shared a conversation that he had with Charleston coach Ben Pierman after that game, and Ben Pierman shared with him that he thought that Charleston had defended as well as they had all season in that San Diego game. Nate Miller told us that he concurred. It ended up being a tough defeat for the Loyal in the end, and of course Louisville coming off a 2-1 defeat in St. Petersburg against the Rowdies last time out, and despite a wonderful Wilson Harris equalizer at the start of the second half in that game, it would be a Cal Jennings brace that would break Louisville hearts in the end in a 2-1 defeat. Del Piccolo just recently had his 250th regular season appearance in the USL Championship. He's also approaching 200 appearances for Louisville, which is currently the second most for one club in USL Championship history. He's deflected, and chance for Guido to control things for San Diego in that midfield. Don't want to overpromise, but this game is expected to have a lot of attacking moments, lots of chances, and we hope lots of goals, especially from the neutral point of view.
One of the things to keep an eye out for is when you're not used to playing a team, and this is an out-of-conference matchup, you're not used to playing each other. At the start of the game, they got to feel each other out. They got to see where the spaces are. They got to see how each other's going to attack one another. Take a little bit of time, figure out the game, settle in the game a little bit, and then I'd expect to see a little bit more of what we were talking about. Louisville flying out, San Diego trying to build those pattern plays, really start opening up the game. But when you're playing a new opponent, watch for the game to slow down a little bit so each team can get a little bit of feel of which one another are going to do.
Out wide from Stoneman. This is Colin Martin in the midfield for San Diego. Cam Riley to the near side, and a little bit of a push and a chase chance there for Adrian Perez, but it's snuffed out. Headed by Jimenez. Let's get Jimenez back into the fold, and the referee comes back to spot an infraction here. Nabil Ben Salah is our center official tonight in Louisville. Conway got the worst of that. It's going to be a free kick for the visitors. Commonwealth Credit Union has been bettering the lives in the communities they serve since 1951. To learn more, visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com. Veteran Joe Corona gets us back underway. What a career he's had at multiple levels.
It's so important having a player like Joe Corona as well, who's played at a high level. He knows what it takes to win these big, important games. He knows the gamesmanship of that a little bit. If there's a situation where he needs to put his ball, where he needs to put his foot on the ball, slow things down, he knows the gamesmanship, which is something that's important to have, especially when you're dealing with a team like this in a big situation.
3 goals in the league for Joe Corona this season. Of course, had a memorable few moments in San Diego's abbreviated Open Cup run earlier in the campaign as well. Riley, a slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! Vegas denies Gonzalez, but on the follow-up, Wilson Harris scores for Louisville. And the boys in purple land the first blow and take a 1-0 lead. Seventh goal of the season for Wilson Harris. Right place, right time, and Louisville score inside of 5 minutes.
And this goal really comes from what we were talking about. San Diego wants to build the ball up out of the back. San Diego wants to try to build. Louisville's going to press. Louisville's going to take their time to try to win the ball. They win the ball. They turn the ball over. They found Ownby, who's that player that we were talking about before the open. So important. Picks his head up, picks out Harris, makes a great run. Strong header, big save by Vegas, but he is there to clean it up. Harris is there to clean it up. Ownby is a player we talked about. He takes his touch inside. What a perfect ball that is. Finds his target forward, Gonzalez. Harris is there, right place, right time, and that's what goal scorers do. They find themselves in front of the net at the right moments. Big goal for Louisville to get them off and running, and this is exactly what we talked about from the start. San Diego wants to build, but if you're going to build, if you're going to bring your goalkeeper up, if you're going to split your center backs, you have to be careful not to turn the ball over. Louisville times their press just right, turns it over, finds Ownby, that player that we were talking about who's so important to their team, picks his heads up, finds a streaking Gonzalez. Harris there to clean it up on the rebound. Great start for Louisville.
Goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery, team leading 7th goal for Wilson Harris. 2 goals in his last 2 appearances now for Louisville. Just the start that Danny Cruz would have been hoping for. Not exactly what Nate Miller had in mind. And San Diego looking to change that here with Perez putting it across. It's cleared away by Sean Tosh. And San Diego looking for an immediate riposte, get a set piece.
Good response here from San Diego. They keep their heads up, they keep doing what they're doing, they're building up, able to get themselves a corner out of a tough situation, going down 1-0 that early.
You said it as well, Jeff. You feel for Koke Vegas. Made an incredible point-blank save on the Gonzalez effort. Only for Nate Miller's goalkeeper to be beaten by Wilson Harris seconds later. From the corner, Moshe Bon to the back post, and Harris got his head to that, and Ownby gets his boot to it to clear for Louisville, and Koke Vegas at the halfway line will reset for the Loyal. To service this back towards the edge of the penalty area, and a clunky coming together there involving Moshe Bon sees Louisville win a free kick.
That's one of the things with this style of play if you're San Diego. You kind of live and die by your style of play. When you're able to get the ball, if your goalkeeper's going to step up, that means that your center backs are going to split, your outside backs are going to go up much higher up the field. If that ball turns over, it makes it tough in transition to get numbers behind the ball. In that situation, they had everybody stepping up, the center backs were split out. Louisville turns the ball over, they're able to find Ownby wide, who has time to pick his head up and pick out his runners. He has that time because they lost the ball and the rest of the team was up the field. So look for those transitional moments for Louisville. Those are going to be huge throughout the night, but if you're San Diego, especially in your back third, you have to value the ball more. That way you're not turning the ball over and putting your defense in those tough spots.
Gonzalez slips. Allowing San Diego to regain possession. Challenge is cleaned by Mogul. They'll stay with San Diego. Now, the last time that the Loyal were here, go back to 2021, goals for Louisville from Lancaster and Niall McCabe in a 2-1 win. Jack Blake scored for San Diego that day. Although one of the more notable footnotes is that Landon Donovan, head coach at the time, was sent off in the latter stages of that game. And of course, in the rematch last year in San Diego, Louisville put 5 past the Loyal in a 5-2 win. 5 different goal scorers for Danny Cruz's boys. And those have been the all-time meetings between these two, and so far, and we haven't played 9 minutes yet, but the script remains unchanged from a Louisville point of view.
I think what Louisville has done is kind of caught San Diego by surprise a little bit, at least off the jump. Their press is a little bit more calculated than I think they were expecting. Normally, Louisville is going to fly numbers forward. The ball goes back, they're going to fly numbers forward at your center back. But in this situation, Louisville's press is starting a little bit deeper, so they're allowing San Diego to have the ball and bring the ball up a little bit. Once they hit that 25-yard mark, that's where Louisville starts to dictate their press. Where I think Coach was expecting that Louisville's press would be a little bit more higher, a little bit more sporadic, but it's been very calm and very organized so far from the Louisville defense.
Perez continues to be active, and he wins a corner off of the veteran Oscar Jimenez.
On the road in a big game like this, these set-piece opportunities are so crucial. San Diego's got to take their time, really try to pinpoint, find those forwards. Maybe if they have something that they've been working on off the training pitch, could be a time to break that out.
Corona is the short option for Tumi Moshe Bon. Moshe Bon goes right down the middle in the penalty area. I think Perez got his head to that for Louisville. And San Diego will take a corner from the opposite end. San Diego in position again for a set piece. Can they find a very quick response here to the 5th-minute opener from Wilson Harris? Joe Corona will whip this in. It is dangerous, but not dangerous enough, as Oliver Zemla continues to have a great rookie campaign. He's right on the spot for Louisville.
Good, calm, confident goalkeeping there. I like the way he settled the ball as well. There's an opportunity to play a transitional attack, but instead calms it, steps his team up, connects with his back line, and now they're trying to build out having that possession. Good composure from the young goalkeeper.
Still has an outside shot, Oliver Zemla, of catching the all-time clean sheets record for a regular season in USL Championship. Still needs a few more. Jordan Farr set the record of 15 with San Antonio last season. Zemla's still 3 or 4 short of that. There's still 6 games left, including tonight. Ownby, smart play, wins a throw as he was going towards the far sideline.
That's a little bit more of what Ownby brings to this team. It's not just in the attack. His ability to press and his ability to defend higher up the field and make life hard for San Diego defenders, that's one of the better things that he does. Not to mention he got the assist on the goal. He's creative when he has the ball. But really watch the way that he's able to attack at these San Diego defenders and just make their life challenging and turn the ball over in these tough spots.
Leads to another Louisville corner on the far side. Manny Perez, who Danny Cruz a couple of weeks ago called one of the fastest players in the league. I thought he was going to say the team when I first heard him say it, but he said no, the entire league. Wins the corner, brought to you by Wi-Fi. See how Oscar Jimenez finds the service here for Lou City. More defending to do for San Diego. In by Jimenez. Headed over the top by Sharpie.
It's a good place to put your corner kicks if you're the attacking team. San Diego's doing a good job stacking the box, so I'd like to see something a little bit more creative on these set pieces. You can see that San Diego's got a lot of numbers in there if you're just going to go one-on-ones.
Mo Shaban finds some space to invite some teammates maybe into the play here. It's up towards Guido as it's recycled by Carlos Guzman. And Vegas, this is how San Diego likes it. They bring their goalkeeper really high up the field as an extra outfield player in some ways to keep the possession moving in the right direction. It is risky. It's how that Loyal like to play under Nate Miller. They create something from this. A cross comes in. It's not a bad effort. Zemla punches it away. And Winder heads it into a safe area for Louisville. Ownby trying to get it back to Winder, who is beaten to it by Colin Martin.
Good decision from Zemla there to go with the punch. There's a lot of traffic. He does a safe thing. He does a smart thing. Clears his box. He's even able to start a counter out of that clearance. So it's a good job for the goalkeeper there.
How long does it take to know when to punch and when to catch and make that kind of decision in a split second?
So much of it is just in the moment, where if you're dealing with a lot of traffic, if you feel like there's anything that could throw you off in terms of catching the ball, whether you bump ahead with an arm or something that throws off your ability to catch the ball, it's always just smarter to go punch, usually when you're dealing with the traffic like that. But everything that happens is a split second decision.
One back by Del Piccolo. This is Gonzalez. Sharpie briefly pressed by Corona. Conway tries to force a mistake out of Tosh. And Tosh put the ball in the right spot. Ownby couldn't control. That's a goal kick for San Diego.
Watch for San Diego tonight to try to tuck those midfielders in a little bit and use those outside backs to provide that width. One of the things that you do when you're trying to break this pressing team is if you're able to switch the ball quick to alleviate the pressure from one side and get the ball out to the other side to that outside back who's stepping up the field, that'll be a way that they're going to be able to break that press. We saw it a couple times earlier in the game. Look for them to get the ball, open up those outside backs, and try to get those quick switches so that they can move Louisville's press from side to side, so that they're able to continue to build on the ball and alleviate some of that early pressure.
Fans, when Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City has partnered with Wendy's to give you a small free Frosty. If the boys in purple win, no purchase necessary. Offer is valid the following day after a win. Head to any participating Louisville area Wendy's location to redeem. As that foul is going to allow Ryan Ownby in Louisville to redeem a free kick on the far side.
He just makes life so hard for these defenders. The way that he presses, the way that he attacks when he has the ball. That's why him being back in the starting lineup is so important for this Louisville team. He's such an important part of what they're trying to do. Defensively, offensively, his presence in this lineup changes the way that Louisville is able to play.
And getting him for more minutes, just to back up your point, is a huge boost for Danny Cruz and the side. Free kick is presented by Fifth Third Bank. Brain trust to Oscar Jimenez and Carlos Mogul Jr. stand over it. Louisville looking for a second. It's going to be Mogul. He fizzes one in, and Gonzalez gets his head to it once again, but he skies it over the top of the bar.
Dangerous ball there. San Diego does a good job of getting bodies in front of Gonzalez, making the header hard to get down. That's a dangerous set piece there. Maybe the goalkeeper could have come from it. It was close to a 6-yard box, but with that much traffic in front of you, it makes it hard for the goalkeeper. Service like that usually finds the back of the net.
Send forward looking for Conway. It's a team leading 10 goals this season for San Diego. In the end, Sharpie controls for Louisville. Again, obviously we mentioned the Charleston defeat. We'll try to get the thoughts of Nate Miller. He said that it's one of the few times this season he felt his team didn't deserve anything from the game. So San Diego are coming from a tough place in that regard. He felt they were thoroughly outplayed against, to be fair, a very good Charleston side. Ben Pierman continues to do a tremendous job with the battery this season. San Diego do have to fight their way back from that, and Louisville are in the ascendancy again. Jimenez incites the ball. Del Piccolo tries to return it to him. It's Manny Perez! And Perez's shot is blocked, and it trickles out of play for a corner on the far side after a lovely Louisville move.
Incredible effort there by Bodley getting the block, but what a build-up here by Louisville, and it starts with Harris coming back and receiving this ball. Harris comes back, receives the ball, finds the overlapping runner, doing a great job as the number 9 as the target forward, finds the overlapping runner where they're able to connect. Unselfish play in San Diego's 18-yard box. Got a good look on the goal, but an incredible individual effort there by Blake Bodley to make sure that he gets a block on that shot on target.
Leads to another Lou City corner. It's going to be the in-swinging Oscar Jimenez. Ends up playing it short instead. Mogul for Winder. Tries to thread the ball through. Jimenez tried to volley it. Still a chance to recycle. It's Elijah Winder, deflected and palmed away by Vegas. Goalkeeper did well to react.
Good save there by Vegas. Looks like it took a couple deflections on the way in. Those are never easy to deal with. Not only does he make the save, he's able to get a good punch to it, so he's able to clear those lines.
It was nearly another Lou City attack, but Manny Perez's touch lets him down. And San Diego can take a moment to breathe here.
I love that set piece place there by Louisville. We saw in their first corner kick that San Diego was lining the box with big numbers, so it was hard to get just a straight up cross in. They found something off the training ground to pull those defenders out and get themselves a different look. That's smart play there by Louisville, recognizing what they did on the first set piece and then adjusting and finding something that they've been working on in training to give themselves a good opportunity.
It's nudged past Mogul to Perez. This is Sharpie. Services for Brian Ownby on the far side. He couldn't catch up, and the offside flag anyway negates the sequence.
Right now,
More positive play.
Right now, it feels like San Diego's got to weather this storm a little bit. Louisville's having the better of play. San Diego's not having a tough time trying to build, trying to set up their attack the way that they want to. They're very specific with their style of play. They want to split these guys out. Like you said, they want to have the goalkeeper high. When I was playing, if I was this high, that would scare me. But that's their style of play. That's what they want to do. They want to be able to keep possession. But Louisville doing a great job disrupting their buildup and catching them on these counters. Need to weather this storm a little bit so they don't give up another goal on the road.
I'm sure some people viewing San Diego for the first time are probably wondering why they do that. It's the way that Nate Miller likes it. It's how they like to play, and it's part of that attacking style that San Diego has really from top to bottom of the organization, and it has served them well quite a bit. Teams like Louisville can certainly get after them.
Well, it's really about giving yourself a numerical advantage in the build-up. When you're able to bring your goalkeeper up like that and have him acting as a center back, you're able to push those other numbers higher. It's a very risk versus reward type of playing, though, as if you turn the ball over, then everybody's split. But They want the numerical advantage that you have to have a goalkeeper that's able to play with his feet to do that. They feel comfortable with their goalkeepers in order to do that. But now it's just about how can they unlock Louisville's press while bringing your goalkeeper up. Is it having your number 6 come and get the ball, finding those gaps? Is it having a guy like Joe Corona? You can see him streaking across the field, finding those gaps so that you can unlock and move the ball side to side. This is where it gets tricky. How are they going to unlock Louisville's press? Because so far it hasn't worked and they've been turning the ball over.
Gonzalez wastes no time off the throw. Wilson Harris is into the penalty area. And he plays it across beautifully, but there's nobody there for Louisville. Ownby arrives a bit late. And it's cleared away by Carlos Guzman. Now Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way. And Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped Tumi Moshaban in his tracks.
That's the right decision there by the referee. Sharpie definitely slowed a counter-attacking opportunity there. And that's a smart foul by Sharpie as well. You see that San Diego has numbers, you see that they're streaking, you see that there could be an opportunity. A little foul, tactical foul, slow the game back down, get control, get your defense back behind the ball.
It's a World of Beer yellow card for this challenge.
It's a good turn there by Conway. Smart foul by Sharpie. He sees that he's beat. If he's able to connect that 1-2, he's going to make that run behind, and Sharpie's going to get left behind, and they're going to be in on a breakaway. So it's a smart tactical foul, but it really changes the way that Louisville's going to have to play now, especially with Sharpie as their main center back carrying that yellow card. He's going to have to be very careful because one more foul like that, and we'll be seeing him down to 10 men.
This is a concerning sign for San Diego as Tumi Moshaban, he's slow to get up here for the Loyal, one of their most important players. 7 goals and 5 assists this season for Tumi Moshaban.
Yeah, it looked like they might have.
Serious.
Yeah, it looked like they might have bumped knees, or, I don't think there was any ill intention there from Sharpie. Like you said, it was just a tactical foul. But anytime you got 2 big bodies colliding like that, things can happen. Hopefully he's okay. He's an important part of the San Diego lineup.
Charlie Adams is the player you saw warming up there for San Diego. Nate Miller does have to make a change here. Moshaban is back up. There's Charlie, getting set. San Diego is certainly a team that has depth on the bench. You have Ronaldo Damas, who's a cup final match winner in this league's history, on the bench. That certainly backs that up. Charlie Adams is there, Nick Moon as well. There's certainly options. Of course, Nate Miller is hoping that Tumi Moshaban is going to be okay, and it looks like for now he's going to stay on.
Yeah, I think Moshaban, with his speed and his ability to also come in and check in and play at that hold-up play, it separates him from other people on this team. You have an element where he could beat you over the top, but he's also able to come in, be a big body, and hold the ball up for your team as your team steps up the field. So a person like him in this type of formation, Moshaban, is so important to what San Diego wants to be able to do.
Vegas throws one to the far side, and Ownby's pressure sees it go out for a San Diego corner. Left a little bit on Carlos Guzman there, it appears. Neil Bensala, our center official, along with Brian Ownby. Just a quick check to make sure he's okay.
I know that this is how San Diego wants to play. They step their goalkeepers up. They live a little bit dangerously. But that ball across the field into pressure, if you're the goalkeeper especially, that's a difficult ball. I'd like to see him pick his head up. Maybe he can break a couple more lines when he has the ball at his feet this high, or play a little bit tighter, just play a little bit closer, a little bit safer ball so you're not putting your team in those situations. Because if that ball turns over, it's an automatic goal for Louisville. So especially if you're the goalkeeper, making that switch play into pressure is very dangerous when you're playing this type of formation. Try to skip those lines, break that initial line of pressure for your team so everybody else can set up and you can start this possession higher up the field.
Guzman fires it towards Evan Conway, who's surrounded by purple shirts, and Sharpie recycles it all the way back to Oliver Zemla. Corona, carried by Del Piccolo, tries to find Perez on this near side, and Adrian Perez sees it get deflected off of him and out for a Louisville throw.
It's a little bit better there from San Diego. Get the ball in the midfield, try to break those lines with the ball over the top. And now if you're San Diego, this gives you an opportunity to step your group up, try to win this ball in this half so you can regain possession in this side of the field.
Danny Cruz as well, you briefly saw on your screen as Wilson Harris wins a free kick. He actually went through all of the goals for us that they conceded against Tampa Bay last time out, and so those are things they have to clean up and some defensive things that need to be better. And Harris almost scored a second. Once again, Ownby at the heart of it, and it wasn't a bad first-time effort whatsoever from the Louisville goal scorer, and he nearly scored a second.
Ownby to Harris. We talked about this combination before the game. He finds the opportunity to pick his head up. Harris has eyes for that top net. What an incredible effort that is. Off of his foot, it didn't look like he hit it right, but the way he picks his head up and pinpoints that corner, misses it by just a little bit, but that's what we're talking about. Harris checks in, he draws that free kick in their own half. Ownby makes the run behind. Harris is trailing late following the play. That's that 1-2 combination that we were so excited about, having Ownby back in the starting lineup, because it allows Harris to do things where he's not having to shoulder a lot of the offensive work, and now Ownby can take a little bit and create chances for Harris.
Oh, nearly a dangerous moment there for San Diego. Vegas clears with Gonzalez lurking. And Conway can't get a touch on it, and Louisville recycles the possession to Manny Perez. And Perez glides past two challenges, crosses it into the middle for Jorge Gonzalez, who took too many touches. In the end, Adrian Perez bails out San Diego and concedes a corner in the process. Maybe the ball was just a little bit too far for Gonzalez, but he got the first touch to keep it in play.
Great job finding the late runners across the field. Louisville able to win that ball in transitional moment. Gonzalez was streaking. If that ball was just a little bit tighter to Gonzalez, I think he's going to be able to get that goal in. But again, that's great counterattacking play by Louisville, creating themselves another opportunity on this corner.
It's as loud as Lynn family's been in this first half. Mogul whipping it in, and it's headed and deflected off the line. Somehow it stayed out. Jimenez keeps the possession going. Sharpie lofting it back in. It's headed out. Sharpie's header keeps it alive once more. Mogul, he services it into the middle over Harris's head. And now Ownby can reset. More good Louisville attacking play. Winder leaves it for Manny Perez. Ownby. There's Mogul to get back into the play. Winder. Once again, San Diego in the middle of a whirlwind here. Mogul again. He's going to let one fly, and it goes right down the gut of the goal for Koke Vegas.
I think that was Joe Corona on that block off the goal line. That was one of the better goal line clearances you're going to see. Incredible effort there from the midfielder to recover for his goal. He saved San Diego from going down 2-0. But you're talking about Louisville. Louisville is smothering this San Diego team right now, not really giving them the opportunity to breathe. On the corner kicks, it's relentless attack, relentless attack, relentless attack. Not giving San Diego the chance to settle in. But talking about big moments in a game, I think I'm pretty sure that was Joe Corona on the goal line who just saved an impossible thing from Louisville, keeping the scoreline at 1-0. San Diego's got to regain themselves. They got to catch their breath a little bit because Louisville is throwing numbers forward, and San Diego's very lucky not to be down 2-0 right now.
You said it, Jeff. San Diego has to weather the storm. They're just about staying in it at the moment. Some more lovely attacking play here from Louisville. Corona's touch keeps it in. Jimenez has possession here for Lou City. Again, this season, the defensive side of the game for Louisville has really been their strong point. It's been the attacking third where they haven't been themselves at times this season. We've seen good glimpses of it, though, in this first half so far, and it could continue here with Winder leading the break. Winder plays it in for Jorge Gonzalez, and Gonzalez gets past one, couldn't get past a second. Ownby retrieves. Ownby chips it across, and Koke Vegas reads it well.
Really special build-up play by Louisville, building out of their own back. There's 6 drops in. You have Wes Sharpie playing out wide, connecting, creating opportunities, getting the ball forward, and really doing a little bit of what San Diego likes to do to teams. They're building, they're switching out of the attack, and that leads to their counter-attacking opportunities where you're able to get the ball to Harris, you're able to get the ball to Ownby, you're able to get the ball to Gonzalez so that they can do their thing in the attack. But that's a really special build-up play that we just saw there from Louisville, using everybody in their defense to get the ball out of trouble, switch the field, and then go on the attack and make San Diego chase.
San Diego just about able to hold off Louisville for these last 5 to 10 minutes. Wilson Harris scored back in the 5th minute for Lou City. And since then, it's looked like Louisville much the more likely to add another. San Diego certainly capable themselves of creating something as Moshaban takes down Sean Tosh. On this occasion, Lou City reset via a free kick.
Really impressed with what I'm seeing out of Louisville so far tonight, especially after talking to Coach Danny Cruz. He put a little emphasis on his defense. He talked about how he felt his defense versus the Rowdies took a little bit of a lax. There was opportunities that he created for the Rowdies that shouldn't have been there. He kind of came out of nothing, but so far his defense has been up to the task, and more than that, they're kind of starting the transitional build for them as well. They're building up out of the back. They're strong positionally. They're in their block when they need to be. So far, I think the response that Coach Danny Cruz has been looking for, he's been able to get out of his Louisville back line. And of course, the offense has been doing their thing as well. So it's a great start right now for Louisville. And if you're San Diego, we talked about weathering the storm. You're 30 minutes in. It's only 1-0 still. It could be more, but it's not. Put your foot on the ball, regain the composure, realize that the scoreline is still very obtainable for you to get back into this game. You just got to find a way to build yourself into these games.
Nice move by Conway in tight quarters to keep that going for the Loyal here. Plays it into Joe Corona. As Moshaban and Conway all went to the edge of the penalty area. Riley. Playing this across. Stoneman. For Colin Martin. Lovely ball by Martin. Got Perez. Guido. 3 or 4 challenges in on him. He was able to just about stay on it for a moment, and then Harris is crunched between 2 Loyal defenders. I think he was asking the referee for a booking there. He's still asking, but it's just going to be a free kick.
That's some dirty work there by Harris, coming in and knowing that your center back's going to run through you. Good work there from the forward. A lot of times you need these guys that are good in front of the net to also be good at coming back and checking up with that hold-up play. Harris doing a good job there, alleviating that pressure. San Diego had a little bit of possession there. They were pressing. If they were able to win that ball back, they would have been right back down Louisville's throat. But Harris does a good job getting his body in front of the center back, drawing the foul, giving his team a chance to regain possession, regain their composure a little bit, and get their structure back.
This also gives us a chance to look around the league really quickly. A couple of 0-0s going on right now. Memphis and Hartford, they just kicked off 0-0. Weather delay in Miami forced the start of that game back a little bit. 0-0 between Miami and Pittsburgh, and that game could matter a lot for Lou City, because if Miami dropped points today, along with drop points later on today as well, it actually needs to be 2 drop points. Tulsa would have to drop points against Oakland. Couple all of that with a Lou City win, that would see Louisville clinch a playoff spot tonight. All 3 of those things have to happen. So far, Miami is doing their job. Not obviously they want to win, of course, but for Lou City, that result's going their way, and the result here is going their way so far. The other game going on, I should say, that I haven't mentioned, Loudoun won, Charleston won at the half. There were 2 goals inside of 5 minutes at the start of that game. See how that game plays out, because again, if Charleston dropped points, that also potentially keeps the door slightly ajar for Louisville to maybe even push for that 3 seed, although it's still a bit out of their reach at the moment.
That's what makes these late season out of conference games so exciting, because it's, in a way, it's free points. Most of the time when you're playing against interconference this late, it's a 6-point swing. In this situation, you're looking to get a 3 points, and if you're one of the other teams in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference, you're watching this game thinking, man, I really hope that they're not able to get those 3 points. So there's a lot of scoreboard watching, there's a lot of standings watching going on anytime this late in the season, but especially with so much on the line in terms of seeding in the playoffs, 2 teams that are right in the thick of it that are playing this out-of-conference game this late in the season.
Of course, the Oakland-Tulsa game is one of those games where Louisville will be hoping that Oakland wins, and San Diego will be hoping that Tulsa wins.
You're going to see that a lot. You're going to see that a lot tonight around the league.
Here's Harris going at Corona. Harris still looking for some space. He chops it onto his right. He's just about cleared away. Moshaban gets it off the deflection. Adrian Perez trying to deal with Brian Ownby, and does get past him. Gets past Mogul as well. Strides across midfield. And it's miscommunication on the far side. And the pass goes out of play after what started out as a positive move forward for San Diego.
Perez, he does all the dirty work there. He's able to get himself out of trouble. He dribbles himself across the field. Instead of playing the pass to alleviate pressure, he's able to do it himself. Unlucky to have that little bit of miscommunication, but that's better from San Diego. They got to get the ball moving side to side so they can alleviate the pressure and really get your outside backs flying over the field so that you can create those chances using the width that you're creating by the formation that you're trying to play.
Of course, we also touched a bit on this being the last season for San Diego, and Nate Miller talked to us a little bit about it. Said he did admit to us he's a bit tired of talking about it, but was nice enough to let us know that this is a situation where the players knew for quite a long time before the public found out, and said they were suffering in silence for quite some time, and the pressure was almost alleviated from them when the announcement was made that it was going to happen. And so the players have families, they love the area in San Diego, and it's been a tough time for all of them, but so the way that the team's gone about it week in and week out since the announcement came out has just been top class, and the professionalism has been at an all-time high. Says that everybody knows what it means to put on this San Diego Loyal shirt. Says that's how we hope to play the rest of the season and into the playoffs as well.
I think it's one of those things where
Vegas in some trouble. Gets it away before Harris could collapse onto it.
I think it's one of those situations where the initial shock of it, if you're one of the players, you found this out a long time ago and you've been dealing with this for quite some time, but eventually it turns into a rallying point. You know that this is the last time the locker room's going to be together. You know that this is the last time that this crest is going to be worn. So it turns into a rallying point that you want to go out on top. You want to use that as something to build off of. I think San Diego's been able to do that.
Adrian Perez clips in the cross. Manny Perez clears it. As far as Joe Corona, recycles the possession. Colin Martin can certainly hit them. Wasn't far away. He scored a couple of world-class goals in his career for San Diego. And Oliver Zemla knew where it was going, but it was a vicious effort.
I like the effort there from Martin. He has the opportunity to take a touch, pick his head up, and find that space to shoot. That's better from San Diego, what we're talking about. Making Louisville defend a little bit deeper in their box, trying to regain that possession up the field. Usually you could tell, of course, on the broadcast it looked a little bit closer. I thought that had eyes for the net, but you can usually tell by the way a goalkeeper reacts whether the ball is as close as you think it is when you're watching or not. Didn't trouble him too much, but I like the idea from him. He's able to put those balls in the back of the net. Have to start making the goalkeeper's life a little bit more difficult if you're San Diego.
To be fair, Jeff, that might have been their first effort in the first half. Can't remember many other chances like that for Nate Miller's group.
Outside of a couple crosses, that was really the first effort they've had on goal. And I know the young goalkeeper's having a great season, but at the same time, you want to test this goalkeeper. This is the big game. This is the big Eastern Western Conference game. Two big teams that have eyes for a championship. You want to be able to test these goalkeepers, see if they're ready for the moment.
Vegas has certainly had a couple of moments where he's had to come up with something. And even on the goal, he came up with a big save, but it was at Wilson Harris's mercy on the follow-up. Nothing he could do about it. That's what's put Louisville ahead. It's the only goal so far. Blue City have come so close to adding on. So far, the Loyal have certainly been bending a bit in this first half, but haven't broken past that 5th minute.
Unlucky not to connect there, but that's the ball that's gonna unlock this Louisville press. If you're able to switch the field of play and make everybody chase, that's going to give you the opportunity to walk the ball up a little bit further up the field so you're able to gain that possession up into Louisville's back third.
Is this game important for San Diego? They have that game against Monterey Bay midweek next week, which is their game in hand. You can see them push up even higher in the table in the West, especially after Orange County was shocked by the switchbacks last night. 3rd seed is a bit vulnerable at the moment in the West. Of course, that's exactly what Louisville are pushing for in the East as well. And Blue City are trying to hold off the likes of Memphis and Birmingham for home playoff positioning. The bracket comes out in October. It's a dangerous ball back. Ownby beaten to it by Vegas. And again, that's the risk of having Vegas that far out. Ownby nearly pushed it past him.
Vegas does a great job in that situation. Oh, unfortunate. A lot of times you don't see goalkeepers having to make sprints like that. They're not used to it. But Vegas doing a great job in that situation, reading that it's a bad back pass, able to beat Omi to the ball. Omi is a fast player. It's a slow back pass to the goalkeeper. Vegas does a good job coming off his line. He's stuck.
The ball's curled in here. Zemla holds.
He's in that high starting position, so he's able to clear that ball out. If he doesn't do that, Omi's in on a breakaway. Tough back pass to put your goalkeeper in that situation.
Koke Vegas was still trying to walk that off during the sequence that led to Zemla having the ball in his hands at the moment. There's just under 5 minutes left in this first half, and yes, just the one goal in it, but it's really flown by. Lots of chances, especially from Louisville's point of view. A rip-roaring affair, as we expected in this first half.
If San Diego can, I like the way that they're getting Perez involved. Perez is getting the ball and he's creating right from the moment he touches the ball. He's either attacking to the back line or trying to connect 1-2 and making those runs. We need to see that a little bit more all over the field from these San Diego players so that they're able to unlock this press from Louisville. But every time Perez has gotten the ball here in the last 10-15 minutes, he's able to do something, whether it's dribbling out of pressure, connecting, trying to get the game forward a little bit. He's having some success down this right side where I think they could use that a little bit more.
Ownby. Pressuring Guzman, back to Vegas, who looks to be okay for now. We'll keep an eye on him. Martin. Pushed over there as he released the ball. And I think the referee has spotted that. It's been brought back for a loyal free kick. It happened as he was booting it upfield. Nabil Ben Salah all over it. There's the former San Diego loyal man, Kyle Adams, on the bench tonight. One of the tough things to hear was that, of course, the player that went the other way in that big trade, Enoch Mushagalusa, was on loan at San Diego the rest of the season, not available. Nick Miller said basically the first time he hopped on a training pitch with us, he got hurt. We haven't heard from him since, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be back in the fold towards the latter end of these final few weeks of the push to the postseason, and hopefully for the playoffs as well. Could be a key piece for the Loyal. It already is a strong attacking group. Corona to the back of Jimenez and headed away by Winder. Kept alive by Riley for Martin. Cam Riley assesses his options. Joe Corona whips in the ball. And Zemla comes up with it just in front of the bleached blonde hair of Evan Conway.
Good read here from Zemla, and a great job holding the ball. We talked about dealing with that traffic earlier, whether you want to punch, whether you want to catch. He has a clear path to the ball. He hasn't had to make any saves tonight, but there's been 4 or 5 different crosses that he's had to deal with. And if you have a goalkeeper who's catching crosses, who's being confident coming off his line like that, that's a sign of a goalkeeper who's locked in, he's playing well, and he's reading things well. San Diego's done a good job of getting themselves back into this game, building themselves back into it. They had that scare on the corner kick where Joe Corona cleared it off the line, but since then they've been establishing their possession better and putting the pressure on Louisville's back line.
Mogul wins the initial header. And Wes Sharpie thought he was held up by Moshaban. It was a late whistle, but I think it has come back here for a Lou City free kick. Timmy Moshaban wants an explanation from Nabil Ben Salah.
These two have been battling tonight already, Sharpie and Moshaban. It's been a good battle. Of course, Sharpie's sitting on that yellow card, so he has to be careful in what he's doing, being the last defender, but the two of them have had a good matchup so far.
It's threaded down the line for Gonzalez. Harrison Jimenez joining in on the near side, and Gonzalez trying to go towards the byline, and in the end, it's out for a Lou City corner. We approach injury time at the end of the first half.
Important moment here from San Diego. You've been able to build yourself back in this game. The last thing you want to do is give it off of a set piece. Everybody's got to stay locked in and focused so they can at least get the scoreline to halftime 1-0.
Wi-Fi corner, Carlos Mogul Jr. come over to take it. Lou City get a bit of a crescendo at the end of the half. Jimenez there for the short option. He's starting to walk away. Sent in by Mogul towards the back post. Ownby was in the area. It's headed away just in front of him by Guido. Manny Perez picks up the pieces. We enter 2 added minutes of stoppage time at the end of the half. Back in by Ownby, just over the leaping head of Del Piccolo. Sharpie tried to keep it alive. And San Diego just about clears it, but only as far as Winder, but in the process a foul he's given. Blake Bodley, beg your pardon, wins a free kick to alleviate the pressure for San Diego.
Ownby puts in such a dangerous ball anytime that he has the ability to get a cross off. If you're one of these San Diego defenders and you see Ownby on the ball, you have to get a little bit tighter to him so he doesn't have those opportunities, because every single ball that he's able to put into the box, he puts it right in that sweet spot for one of his forwards to get a head onto it. If I'm San Diego and I see Ownby have the ball looking down to get a cross off, I'm flying numbers forward as much as I can to make life a little bit harder for him.
Challenge came in from Del Piccolo. Lou City win it back. Gonzalez chipping it over the top. Riley just about does enough, although there's handball appeals from the Lou City players all over the place. Referee didn't see it, at least didn't see it that way. Final minute of the half. Ownby trying to nudge it along for Del Piccolo, who's involved in another coming together with Guzman. San Diego will settle back into possession. Martin striding ahead. Perez controls, gets past Gonzalez. Inside of the boot, little flick to Conway with quick feet. San Diego find an equalizer at the end of the half here. This crossed into the middle. Moshaban's header is central. Winder's header is out of the penalty area. It is cleared away. Oh, a bit of a miscue there. Jimenez in behind for Louisville. Tries to play it across. Cam Riley with a crucial touch as Jimenez tried to find Winder, and it's a San Diego throw on the near side, and that may very well take us to the halftime break.
Good recovery defending there from San Diego. You expect Stoneman to be able to get that clearance off, send it out of bounds, give you a chance to regroup. But good job there from the San Diego defense, not giving up on anything, not expecting the clearance to happen, still tucking themselves behind and making sure that the scoreline was 1-0 going into half.
That's exactly what it is. A really fun first half here in Louisville, especially from the neutrals' point of view. Wilson Harris, inside of 5 minutes, gave Lou City the lead. Nate Miller's boys have been under the cosh ever since, and Louisville have the lead at the break.
So far, I think it's what we expected to see from this game. 2 teams that want to attack, 2 teams that want to get 3 points. Louisville had the better of play for the first 35 minutes, but credit to San Diego. They weathered the storm. They had a goal line clearance. They could have been down 2 or 3-0, but instead, it's 1-0. They found their way back into the game. Very comfortable scoreline. Should be an exciting second half.
It's very well poised for the second half. Wilson Harris got us started with a headed goal inside of 5 minutes. Lots of Louisville chances after that, but San Diego has weathered the storm, and they've kept it at just a 1-goal game. Big 45 minutes still to come, but halftime is next in Louisville.
When the Thompsons first bought their house, all they saw was their dream home. They didn't yet know that with a home equity line of credit from Commonwealth Credit Union, it would be their keys to epic cannonballs and the chance to see the world. As years went by, it allowed them to empower the next generation and make happily ever after come true. Which begs the question, what could your home be doing for you? Let's find out together. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Choose your character. Manny Perez, Rasmus Delofsson, Enoch Mushagalusa, Tyler Gibson.
Let's go City.
Watch Louisville City FC take on Miami FC September 20th at 7 on WBKI.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Kroger, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Boost by Kroger Plus is more than worth it. With 2 times fuel points and free delivery, you can save up to $1,000 per year. Try Boost free for 30 days. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Halftime here in Louisville is presented to you by Breeze Airways. Nice, new, and non-stop. That's the Breezeway. Sean St. Jacques, Jeff Attinella back here with you. Louisville leading San Diego by a Wilson Harris goal to nil. Really fun first half here at Lynn Family Stadium. Second half's upcoming, but first, news and notes from around the league. And Jeff, of course, a big move from Alana Lasky that's coming up to FC Nordsjælland in the Danish Superliga. What a great opportunity for him.
Great opportunity for him, and another example for the league. This is a great moment for the league when you're able to find these players, you're able to sell them to these European clubs. It puts recognition on the league, it gives the opportunity to these players, and it makes the USL a more attractive league for these players to come to, knowing that you can make these big moves, knowing that it's a league that you can come in, have success. This is great for everybody all around. Of course, Orange County would want to have them, but in terms of the player, the league, great move, big time stuff for the league.
Of course, some McGee magic sunk Orange County's 9-game unbeaten run last night. The Switchbacks pick up a big win. Later on tonight, lot to get to. Monterey Bay needs a big win against Vegas, Oakland, and Tulsa. Both teams need it. Phoenix and Detroit, with Detroit City in need of more points.
It's that time of the season where every game matters, right? Everybody's watching the playoffs. Everybody needs to get those 3 points and start making their way up the playoff spots. Whether you're trying to clinch a spot, whether you're trying to move yourself up the ladder and get that home field, every game matters. This is the fun part of the season for players, fans, everybody involved.
Lots of games. Every team involved, except for Vegas, needs to win, and that's what we love about the end of the regular season in the USL Championship. There's no question about that, and we're giving you some score updates during the game. Here's the latest right now. Still 1-1 between Loudoun and Charleston. Ben Pierman's boys in danger of dropping points. Miami and Pittsburgh 0-0 there as well. Memphis just scored against Hartford.
That Loudoun and Charleston game, surprising that it's still 1-1, that it got off to such a fast start, but credit Loudoun being able to respond. But like you said, close games, people know what's on the line, people know that there are playoff spots on the line, seasons on the line. Teams are playing a little bit tighter, a little bit stingier on defense, but you're seeing good games across the league tonight.
Yeah, San Antonio, Tampa Bay later on as well to come. That's going to be a really fun game to watch as well. Just like our game, really fun first half here in Louisville. Lou City ahead by a goal to nil. Plenty more halftime to come after a quick break.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
back here at the half, brought to you by Breeze Airways. Louisville leading San Diego by a goal to nil. We'll get to highlights and stats in just a few moments, but first, a player profile on one of Lou City's attacking players. Here's the story of Ray Serrano.
I'm Ray Serrano. I'm a winger for Louisville City, and this is my soccer story. I started playing soccer because my family was really into soccer. I grew up in a household that it was only soccer, you know? So my first soccer memory, I'd say, was joining my first club team in my hometown, Moses Lake, and we were called CV United. The first time I realized soccer was going to be a career for me was when I joined a club now called Spokane Sounders, and ever since then I've took soccer very serious. Spokane Sounders used to be called Spokane Shadow, and when I made that move to Seattle Sounders, I believe they became a partnership, so that's how that all started. Yeah, I was 15 when I signed my first professional contract. I made that decision with my family. I was very excited for it, and just at a young age, I was just focused and ready for that step. Things that I love about the game is being creative, watching players be themselves on the field, expressing myself on the field. I'd say I moved to Louisville because of the city and because of the big fan base that there always is every single game at our games, so yeah. I'd say for this year, collectively, I want us to win the USL Championship.
Great stuff there from Ray Serrano. Might see him in the second half. You never know. On the bench to start the night. Louisville lead by a goal to nil over San Diego at the half. We'll take a break. Halftime highlights, stats, and the second half are coming up next.
Did you know taking care of your teeth and gums helps control blood sugar levels? A healthy smile means a healthier you. We can help you get there. Mortensen Family Dental. Schedule online at mortensondental.com. Did you know taking care of your teeth and gums helps lower your risk of heart attack? A healthy smile means a healthier you. We can help you get there. Mortensen Family Dental. Schedule online at mortensondental.com.
Well, they say the grass is greener there, but ours is dreamy blue. And there's no place I would rather be than Kentucky with you.
Sean St. Jacques, Jeff Attinella back here with you. Lou City leading San Diego at the half by a goal to nil. Really fun affair so far in the third ever meeting between these two. Fourth in the East against fourth in the West has lived up to the hype so far. And now we get the chance to look back through the first half, first 45 minutes with the first half highlights here. And we begin in the 5th minute with the opening goal from Wilson Harris, his 7th of the campaign.
It started early for Louisville. Ownby does a good job, able to create space for himself by touching the ball inside, picks his heads up, finds a streaky Gonzalez. Good save by Vegas, but Harris is there to clean it up. We talked about him as our player to watch before the game. He has a knack for finding good spots in front of the goal, and that's what you see here. Ownby does a good job taking that touch inside, creating space for himself, getting it onto his dangerous foot. Gonzalez elevates over the defender. Harris in the right spot at the right time, makes no mistake about it. And from here, it looked like Louisville was going to be off and running and put a lot of balls in the back of the net, but it wasn't meant to be tonight so far.
19th minute, they kept on pushing. Winder's shot needed a big save and a punch from Vegas.
Good goalkeeping here by Vegas. Doing a good job getting two strong hands on the ball, able to clear his lines on a shot that gets deflected. And if you're an attacker, you see all that traffic in front of the net, put the ball in net, make life tough for the goalkeeper. Vegas up to the task.
Lou City kept on coming from the corner. We still don't know how this was quite clear, but Joe Corona to the rescue for San Diego.
Joe Corona to the rescue. Good near post run, easy flick. That's what you have your man on the near post for. You need to rely on him to cover that goal, drop back in, help your goalkeeper off the goal line, keeps the ball out of the net, and that's why we're at a 1-0 score line here in favor of Louisville.
And the Pave Masters halftime stats tells the story. Just one shot for San Diego was that Colin Martin blast from outside the penalty area. 10 shots for Louisville, 5 on target. And the stats, they don't always reflect how a half is played out. These do.
These ones definitely do, because it's playing out the way exactly what we talked about with the Louisville head coach. You know that San Diego is going to have the ball. You know that they want to keep possession, that they want to keep the ball on their back and try to work their way forward. Louisville is going to take advantage of that with their press, try to catch them on the counter, not be too concerned about having the ball, but really trying to catch them in transitional moments to get shots on net and create chances, and that's what you see. 5 shots on target to 0. San Diego's possession's been in their back half. They have to do a better job of getting themselves up the field, and Louisville's not concerned with having the ball. They weren't concerned about it in the first half. Instead, they were going to turn San Diego over, and they were going to press, and that's what we saw. But credit to San Diego, as the first half went on, they built themselves back into the game, settled themselves down a little bit. They're going to have to do the same thing coming out of halftime. I expect more of a back and forth game where San Diego's going to press a little bit more and hopefully have some more shots on target.
Very excited to see how the second half plays out here at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville. Another good crowd on hand as always for Lou City home games, and it's been a really entertaining contest so far. Teams will switch sides at the start of the second half. Louisville will be going from left to right with a 1-0 advantage. Can San Diego fight their way back? They've stayed in the game through 45 minutes. Can they turn that into leaving Louisville with some points? San Diego is trying to get their first ever result against Lou City in their last trip, you would think, to Lynn Family Stadium as a club. Down a goal, but they've stayed in the match. We'll see if Lou City can add on in this second half. As Guzman, inside of 20 seconds, he's struggling after the first challenge.
Tough to tell what happened here. Seemed like a 50-50 ball. Maybe Ownby's knee might have got him in the ribs or hit him in a tough spot. Didn't see anything malicious. It was just a 50-50 ball that two were going up for.
If anyone's dealt with a bunch of injuries this season, it's Nate Miller and his coaching staff. Had to rotate quite a bit. He's hoping that they don't have to make an early second half sub here. Guzman's been involved in a lot of those challenges so far tonight, doing the dirty work for the Loyal. Michael Shikala, Morgan Hackworth, a couple of the defensive players that are available tonight. Maybe this is just a moment where Guzman just needed to catch his breath. There's Michael Shikala getting warmed up. Guzman looks to be okay. We'll reset with a drop ball, and Louisville in possession with Sean Tosh. Oscar Jimenez chips it towards Elijah Winder, chests it down into space for Gonzalez. Sharpie just able to weave a pass through for Tosh. Tosh looking to get it to Gonzalez on the edge of the penalty area, and it's headed out for a Louisville throw. Tosh, a little bit of trouble. Guido and Conway pressuring him, but he handles it well. Jimenez clipping one towards the penalty area, and it's easy enough for Koke Vegas. San Antonio Tampa Bay game just kicking off, but two other scores to update you on. There's been 2 more goals in the Loudoun Charleston game, and they happened almost literally from when we told you about the scores to when we got to here, although we'll come back to that in a second. This is Ownby, who's blocked by Guzman. Second try, blocked by Martin with Vegas off his line. More Louisville chances, and again San Diego just about survives.
Guzman doing a good job putting his body on the line, but if you're the San Diego defense, you can't allow this much space in between the two attackers. Ownby open making his overlapping run, and that seemingly came out of nowhere. You have to be a little bit more organized defensively if you're San Diego, so that when Ownby's streaking, there's a man on him and life isn't so easy for him. Great effort there by Guzman, but if you're San Diego, that's a breakdown somewhere in your tactics, where if you're able to find those open runners like that easily, when you're Louisville, San Diego's got to be aware of these runners and tuck their defenders in a little bit better.
Just to finish the thought, there were 2 goals in 4 minutes. Loudon made it 2-1, Charleston equalized, and the other big result that's going on right now is that Memphis are trailing against Hartford. Hartford have scored 2 goals in quick time and lead in Memphis at the moment with 35 minutes gone. That could be a result that we have to keep an eye on as the night progresses. That would be a beneficial result for Louisville in particular. Trying to hold off Memphis for the 4th and final home playoff game spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Again, teams like Hartford and Vegas, who are out of it, can still make an impact on how this season finishes. There's no question about that. Here's Ownby for Louisville. Leaves it for Manny Perez. This is Harris, the goal scorer. Mogul. Some space to run into. Plays it back in for Manny Perez. Mogul again. Chops one towards the penalty area. Gonzalez again gets his head to it, but it's nowhere near the target. He's a bit slow to continue on the back end of that sequence.
Mogul given time and space to pick his head up and find that Gonzalez on the far post. Gonzalez has done a good job all night of finding himself in front of the net, being able to get on top of these crosses. You hope he's okay here. It looks like he might have landed a little bit awkwardly. Be good to see him shake it off. He's been a big part of what Louisville's been doing tonight. I know we've been talking about Harris and Ownby quite a bit, but Gonzalez is the one that seems to be on the end of every single cross that they're putting into the box. He's doing a good job towering over these San Diego center backs, getting the opportunities on net.
Martin off the nice chest control from Joe Corona. Stoneman. San Diego trying to create some chances of their own. No shots on target yet for Nate Miller's group. Just the Colin Martin ambitious effort was well struck, but in the end not near Oliver Zemla's target in the first half. This is Ownby. 3 orange shirts around him, and he runs out of room. And San Diego get it back in quickly. Moshaban has Evan Conway across. It's Evan Conway blocked away by Oscar Jimenez. Crucial block. And the first real big piece of defending that Louisville's needed to come up with tonight, and come up with it they did.
Oh, if you're Conway, the goal scorer, just hit that first time. You give the defender a chance to make that recovery run. You find yourself in front of the net. Good transitional moment.
Could that be a sign of things to come here? Bodily. Guzman flipping it, and in the end it comes up short. Gonzalez gets his head to it, and Harris is fouled by Cam Riley. Much better though from San Diego.
Much better, and that came off of good pressure. Guzman steps to Ownby's back. He's able to turn the ball over. They get into that transitional moment. But if you're Conway, hit it first time. Give yourself a chance to put the ball in net. Don't give those Louisville defenders a chance to come back and block the shot.
San Diego come again. Corona. Central for Guido. Hit by Martin. It's deflected. Oh, incredible save by Zemla. Back across. Tosh is there. And it's out for a corner. That took a deflection on the way through. An incredible save by Zemla.
The first save of the night. The first time he's really called into duty, and he is up for the task. It's Martin again taking a long distance shot. Takes an absolutely wicked deflection. He's able to keep himself balanced, get his right hand low just in the nick of time. That's fantastic goalkeeping there from the young netminder.
We talked about the 1-0 lead, allowing San Diego to stay in the game. They're building in confidence right now. Ball is whipped in. Free header, and Zemla's there again to hold on to it. I think that was Stoneman who got his noggin to it. And Zemla makes 2 crucial stops.
He makes that look easy, but that's not as easy as it looked when you're dealing with traffic to hold on to the ball like that. He knows that he has to hold on to the ball. He knows he's going to take a skip off the ground. He has safe, secure hands. He's able to make that save, settle things back down for his team, and it looks like things are getting a little bit chippy here between these teams that are in this playoff hunt.
Yeah, something happened on the back end there, to your point, Jeff, and multiple players from both teams came charging at each other, at least came together, it looked like. Referees having a word with players for both teams here. Only having a word with Paolo Del Piccolo, wasn't happy with something that was, I should say that it transpired. Adrian Perez was talked to initially from the San Diego point of view. We only saw the back end of that.
Yeah, it looked like they were upset about something that might have happened with the goalkeeper. Maybe Perez got a foot in late on Zemla. To me, it looked like some players sticking up for their goalkeeper, but that is great goalkeeping there. He didn't have much to do in the first half, up to the task here in the second. And if you're San Diego, that's what we talked about. You want to put pressure on the young netminder. He was up for the task. But if you're Martin, you have a good shot on net. You know that you can do it. You've hit 2 from distance. This one takes a deflection, gets on target. And now San Diego's really settled themselves into the game. And now it's up to Louisville to weather this storm a little bit on the other side.
Again, if Louisville wins and Tulsa along with Miami drop points tonight, which means just draw or lose, Louisville clinches a playoff spot. So there's a lot on the line for them tonight. Of course, more importantly for Louisville, they're fighting for home playoff games as well. San Diego been resurgent in this second half, and Adrian Perez is running into space here for the Loyal. Plays in Guido. And Guido tries to stab it ahead, looking for Conway. Sharpie cleans things up for Lou City. And Gonzalez is chopped from behind and fouled by Cam Riley.
I really think San Diego has found something down this right side. Every time that Perez gets the ball, I mentioned in the first half, he's able to create something, whether it's 1-2 passes, whether it's dribbling, attacking at the back line. It seems like every time that they're going down this right side, where their initial passes come down this right side, they're able to switch out, they're able to do the things that they need to do to alleviate this pressure from Louisville. Look for them to keep feeding the ball down this right side because it's been successful for them so far tonight.
Sent forward by Sharpie. Riley wins the header. Game of soccer tennis breaks out briefly there, and now it's a chance for Harris. It's cleared away by the San Diego Loyal back line. Adrian Perez, lovely touch, little give and go with Corona. Could open up things again for the Loyal on this far side. Moshaban wants it in the middle. Adrian Perez goes all the way, and Zemla stops him once again with another great save. And then Ownby on the back end is fouled by Conway. 3 incredible saves from Oliver Zemla. He has only gone and done it again.
Keeping the scoreline where it is. We talked about that shutout record before. Maybe he has eyes on it, maybe he's not thinking about it, but the way he's playing, he's definitely hunting it down. Perez does a great job. We just talked about it down that right side, having success. He's able to dribble to create himself his own chances, takes his touch into his left foot. Good solid shot on net that looks like it was knuckling, but good goalkeeping there by Zemla. Strong hands to the ball, good positioning, good angle. Another big moment for the young netminder for his team.
That built confidence for Louisville here. Manny Perez slashing a ball towards the penalty area. It's headed by Adrian Perez. It's out for a Louisville throw on the far side. Back and forth we go.
It's Zemla's positioning on that shot that really separates it for me. He's in a good spot. Perez has an open look on the net. He hits the ball with target, but he makes the save with ease. It's a difficult shot. That's how you know when a goalkeeper's playing well. If he makes difficult things look easy, and he's been able to do that all night. It's his positioning, it's his composure, and it's really his set position where he's balanced, able to make hard saves look easy.
He's already set the rookie clean sheets record this season, Oliver Zemla. Showing you why, again, he could be a top goalkeeper in years to come. Not just this season. Of course, he had that awkward moment against Tampa Bay when there was miscommunication at the back on that first Rowdy's goal last time out, although Danny Cruz told us that it was more about the defense and the communication back there than on Oliver Zemla in particular. Just told Oliver Zemla that if you're going to come for that, obviously you have to get there, but it's actually more disappointed. Danny Cruz told us in the way his back line dealt with that more than Zemla in that situation, and Oliver Zemla made some big saves in that game as well. I'm sure there's every game pretty much Louisville's played this season with Zemla in goal. You can go back and find a few saves like that. He's come up trumps again here to keep it at 1-0.
And especially with goalkeepers, it's all about their response to mistakes. The coach does a good job sticking up for his goalkeeper, which is what any good coach would do. But it's really about what is their response. It's a tough moment, it's a tough loss. How does he respond? And so far, he's responded with 3 huge saves.
Ownby, great ball across. Harris leaves it. Winder dispossessed. Falls for Manny Perez. Ownby, back for Manny Perez. Back for Ownby. Ownby puts in another dangerous ball, but it's too close to Koke Vegas.
Louisville is starting to build themselves back into it, and that's what we talked about, the importance of Ownby coming back into this lineup. He's able to unlock so much and put in dangerous crosses, really put the back line under pressure for San Diego. I think this is a little bit more of that back and forth action that we were expecting when the game started. The game's starting to open up a little bit. San Diego's starting to push. Louisville's getting a little bit more defensive, but still searching for that second goal.
Adrian Perez on the far side. Jimenez in front of him. Couple of step overs. Adrian Perez looking for space. Jimenez stands him up.
A little bit too much from Perez on this one. You have numbers in the box. You want to create a little bit of more of a dangerous chance, but I don't fault him. He's been having success dribbling and attacking and creating for his team. He's really been the spark plug for the entire San Diego attack throughout the night, so I don't blame him for wanting to dribble and try to get at him a little bit.
Goes out of play on the far side, and some Fortuna substitutions are in the offing here for San Diego. Ronaldo Damas, he's going to come on. Tumi Moshaban. And Charlie Adams, he's going to come on. We saw him warming up earlier for Nate Miller's group. And Alejandro Guido, he's going to come off. So Damas for Moshaban, and Adams for Guido. 2 like-for-like changes for Nate Miller with half an hour in stoppage time still to go. Both substitutions are brought to you by Fortuna. Perez from the throw. Del Piccolo dispossesses him. Harris tries to push it past Stoneman. Far side. Stoneman puts it in for Damas. It's headed away. Martin is fouled by Harris. So San Diego get a set piece opportunity here, still in search of an equalizing goal. Substitute Adams along with Joe Corona put their heads together on this one. And San Diego find an equalizing goal here. Plenty of orange shirts queuing up on the edge of the penalty area. We hit by Adams, and there was a coming together, it looks like, on the edge of the penalty area. Winder on his backside. Ben Salah giving an explanation to the players here. Looks like Nabil Ben Salah is having Louisville San Diego retaking the kick. Used to happen before the whistle had gone.
You're not really sure on that one. You don't really see that one much very often. But if you're Adams, that was your first kick of the game. You just subbed on to the game. You get one free run at it. Then you get another opportunity to try to get a little bit better. You overhit that one. Let's see if you can do better with this one.
He won't get another shot at it, and this time he plays catch with Zemla.
Good starting position there from Zemla. Same spot that the last ball ended up. Makes it an easy catch when you're starting to get position a little bit higher up the field on those deep crosses.
Manny Perez is to get Louisville back into the attack here. Ownby is going to recycle the play. Racing Louisville fans, next home game is Friday, October 6th, 7:30 p.m. against Orlando Pride. Come out to Lynn Family Stadium. Support Racing Louisville FC. Tickets are on sale at racingloufc.com/tickets. Harris squeezing it through for Gonzalez. Overlapping run from Jimenez. Ownby blocked. And it's going to go out of play for a Lou City corner as Ownby comes oh so close.
Strong last-ditch defending there again from Guzman. He's had a tough job tonight having to track Ownby all around the field, it seems like, but it's that build-up play from Louisville down the left side that creates this opportunity. Harris comes back in, connects with the overlapping runner. Ownby makes a hard run to the near post, which usually is a good spot to run if you're a goal scorer. But like we said, Guzman's been tracking Ownby around the field all night tonight. Another important key block there. And once again, you're not out of danger here if you're San Diego. You have to defend this corner strong to make sure you keep your team in it.
5-5 corner here for Louisville with 25 minutes left in the 90. Mogul puts it in. It's Del Piccolo off the line by Martin. Mogul on a recycle. It's headed out for Ownby, whose touch takes him away from the penalty area. Manny Perez looks to reshuffle the deck. Tosh for Sharpie. Another close call for San Diego.
That's 2 times now tonight that near post person on the post has been so important for San Diego. 2 goal-saving clearances off the line. Martin doing a good job getting his foot on it, but how about the header from Del Piccolo? That thing had eyes for the corner of the net. Martin in the perfect spot to clear that perfect header out.
Sharpie on a recycle. Headed away by Adrian Perez. And nearly picked off by Winder, but it falls for Adams, who tries to release Conway. It's very well read by Zemla once again.
Conway and the rest of the San Diego team just haven't seemed to be on the same page tonight. They haven't been able to connect the way that you would like them to, especially for the leading goal scorer. Have to try to figure out ways to get him more involved in this game if they're going to have a chance to put one in the net.
Winder fouls bodily on the near side. And it's a San Diego free kick. It's been a really fascinating game to take in tonight. No question about that. Just a bit of a surprise there hasn't been more goals, but it must be said, both teams have come up with huge defensive stops along the way tonight.
Both teams, there's been key blocks. I know that they haven't had too many shots on target if you're San Diego, but the shots that they have had on target have all tested the goalkeeper in a big way. There's been big blocks on both sides, big defensive effort, 2 goal line clearances. So the scoreline might not reflect the action that we've had, but it's been very back and forth, and there's been a lot of good opportunities for both sides.
Del Piccolo won the ball back off of Martin, but then Winder couldn't quite link up with Ownby. It's a recycle for San Diego through Vegas.
The substitutions throughout the course of this game, and especially the second half, are going to be very important. You can tell the game's starting to open up a little bit. Who the coaches, either coach decides to put in this game is really going to dictate the tempo of what they're trying to do at a certain moment in the game. I would expect to see a couple subs here from Louisville. Looks like the guys are getting tired. The pressing is slowing down a little bit. Bring in a couple guys to inject that energy, really bring that tempo back in the game and see if you can get on the ball and put San Diego a little bit back on their heels. They've been doing a lot of defending like this, and that gets tiring throughout the course of the game and starts to wear on you.
I don't know if you're a fortune teller, Jeff, but 2 players for Louisville are getting set to come on. We'll get to that in a second. In the meantime, it's Evan Conway with a fizzer. It is held very tightly by Zemla once again.
Good, confident goalkeeping here, but that's better from Conway. You're the leading goal scorer for this team. Get yourself on the ball. Find the ball. If the team's not being able to find you, go back and get yourself the ball and try to create these different opportunities. The team needs you to score. That's what you're on the field to do. Find different ways that you're going to do it if it's not working for connecting with your team over the top.
Corona. Loft looking for Adrian Perez. He finds him. Perez once again dealing with Jimenez. Perez clips one towards the back post. Manny Perez is there. Damas in the area as well, beaten to it. And then Jimenez clears. Only as far as Corona. Martin picks it up. Guzman. Bodily crosses it in nicely, looking for Damas, who stabbed at it. Tosh got the last touch, and it's a Loyal corner.
Bodily doing a good job creating space for himself, getting the switch from the other side, moving it side to side like we talked about as one of the focus points for San Diego tonight. Good job creating that opportunity for himself. Dangerous ball into the near post, another dangerous opportunity here for San Diego on a set piece.
San Diego been much better in the second half. Is that going to lead to a reward here for Nate Miller's group? Well, he's whipped in. Manny Perez gets his head to it. And Zemla with Guzman in his way couldn't keep it in play. So San Diego will get another bite here at the Cherry. How big has he been? Oliver Zemla has been starring tonight between the sticks for Louisville. The cross from Corona. It was dangerous and just about nicked on the way through, and then Ownby's touch sends it out for another Loyal corner, this time on the opposite end of the pitch. More pressure for Lou City to deal with now.
These corner kicks in these moments, it's gut check time. 3 in a row. These are the situations that you love as players. Man versus man. Who's going to win the ball? Who wants it more? These are the types of moments that are the most fun if you're on the field.
Charlie Adams will take this corner. And the captain's armband after coming on for San Diego. And there's more pushing and shoving inside the penalty area before the kick could be taken. Adrian Perez is in the middle of it once again, as is Paolo Del Piccolo. They continue to make acquaintances with each other. And now for the corner. It's in by Adams. It's headed away by Gonzalez, just in front of Zemla. Bodily tries to go for an ambitious volley. But it pushed ahead for Ownby, and a chance to Lou City to hit on the transitional side here. Ownby crosses it for Gonzalez.
Great recovery effort there by Bodily for San Diego, slowing down that counterattack.
Louisville still could create something here. Ownby. Still Ownby. Recycles the possession. San Diego as a group did well to get back there. Led by Bodily. Make sure that Louisville didn't get anything there in transition. And Mogul can't quite link up with Jimenez. Sharpie for Del Piccolo. Jimenez. Tried to find Del Piccolo. Instead finds Riley. Then finds Mogul. And it's headed out by Del Piccolo for a San Diego throw, which will allow Lou City to make 2 changes. Tyler Gibson is going to come on for Paolo Del Piccolo. And that is going to be the end of the night for Jorge Gonzalez as well. We learned about him at the half. It's going to be Ray Serrano who's going to come on. Both changes are brought to you by Fortnite.
Good subs here to inject a little bit more energy into this Louisville lineup. Del Piccolo had a good shift tonight. He was working a lot of box-to-box action. Tough to do for 70 minutes. Gonzalez, again, he was getting on the receiving end of a lot of crosses. He was a big target for them in the box. Serrano's going to bring some fresh energy, some fresh legs. Hopefully able to create a little bit more in the attack for them. Put San Diego a little bit more on the back foot. Good subs here, good time. 19 minutes left in the game. You got to get some fresh legs on the field if you're Louisville.
Still feels like we could have a few more twists and turns in this one. It's played out.
The scoreline definitely does not reflect the action that we've had here tonight. It's been very back and forth.
Here's Ownby, clipping one across. Tried to find Ray Serrano, who hasn't scored yet this season for Louisville. What a time that could have been for him. Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas, a little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego win a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson, with his first challenge, is booked as well.
That's all individual effort there from Damas. 1v4 against the Louisville backline. He comes in, checks, receives the ball. Instead of giving up on the play, he puts his head down, regains possession with that touch, able to draw the foul, give his team the opportunity to step up. Great individual effort there from the substitute. And that's what you want to see when you have fresh legs in the game. You want to see players that are able to bring that type of energy, have these moments where you're able to swing possession, swing things like that. He's able to do that, give San Diego his team the opportunity to step up now, regain that possession.
World of Beer yellow card for Tyler Gibson earlier than he would have anticipated. San Diego gets back to work in search of an equalizing goal. 17 minutes plus stoppage time left. A game that could have had 4 or 5 more goals between these two. Has to be credited to the defenses and the goalkeepers as well, coming up with big saves and big blocks.
Had 2 goal line clearances for San Diego, 3 or 4 big time saves on the Louisville side.
It's felt like that upper echelon kind of game, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a high level game so far.
Oh, Harris in behind here for Louisville. Snuffed out by Riley. And Vega still has work to do here.
Strong recovery.
He does
there
clip it away,
Riley.
yes. Ownby drags it wide. And it's blocked out for a corner.
Seeing a lot of hands-on knees from both sides. These guys have been putting in the effort tonight. They know what's on the line in this game. They know that this is the top-tier matchup in this league.
Their Wi-Fi corner for Louisville. They give themselves some breathing space to enter the final 15 minutes with here. It's been a really well-played game. Bogle has had a couple of assists from corners this season, the last few weeks. Steps up here for Lou City. Puts the ball in, looking for Winder it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again, great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano, and Serrano is going to be booked as well. The 2 Louisville substitutes, as quickly as they've come on, haven't been able to deal with Damas, and they've both been booked. It's another World of Beer yellow card.
That's 2 times in a row. I can't stress the importance of having a player that's able to do that. It's 1v4. Damas against the Louisville back 4. He's able to get on the ball, and he's able to draw a foul so that his team can regain possession of the field. This is all individual effort here. This is just one in it more than the Louisville back line. Great job drawing the foul. That's 2 times in a row that he's been able to do that, regain that possession of the field for his team so that everybody's able to step up.
Ronaldo Damas led Orange County to the title back in 2021. He's got that championship pedigree. And he shows some incredible extra effort once again. He has certainly provided a bit of a spark for Nate Miller's group since coming on. Louisville 2023 ticket packages are available now. Lou City's next home match is October 7th, 7:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Lynn Family Stadium. Boys in Purple face Hartford. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets. Perez. Down the line for Riley. In the middle for Conway. Oh, Zemla with another jaw-dropping stop. How many times has he bailed out Louisville tonight? 3 or 4? That might be the best save of the bunch.
Each one gets better than the next. Great job staying balanced. He's able to get low to his near post, throw out his left hand, and that's all about staying balanced and staying composed in those moments. He's not leaning one way or the other. He's reacting to the shot, and that's Conway. Conway has 10 goals on the season. He stands him up, gets himself low, big-time save to keep his team and keep the scoreline at 1-0.
Harris leads Louisville in the other direction here. Ownby's in the middle. Ryan Ownby back for Harris. Oscar Jimenez gets it back from Winder and skies his effort. More back and forth play.
Riley doing a good job getting around, and that's what we talked about. Conway trying to find those open spaces, creating those opportunities for his team, finding himself in front of the box, but he's denied by Zemla. Zemla's been the best player on the field tonight, in my opinion, on the night. That's 4 or 5 big-time saves, denying San Diego some great opportunities. It's his calmness, it's his composure. His ability to keep his team in this game has just been second to none. One of the better goalkeeping performances that I've seen this season. Still some more work to do, but he is more than up to the task.
2 more fortunate changes for Louisville. Mogul is going to come off. Dylan Maris is going to come on. Looks like Oscar Jimenez has been taken off as well, and the former San Diego Loyal man, Kyle Adams, is going to come on.
To break it down a little bit for the people that want to know a little bit more about goalkeeping, it's all about his set position and where he is in positioning on the field. He's in a good starting spot, he's tracking the ball, he's staying balanced, and when the shot's happening, he's not leaning one way or the other. He's balanced in his set position that makes him able to react. He had that deflection save earlier in the game where if you're not balanced, if you're leaning too much, that's going to be a goal. He's balanced, he's in a good starting position, and when the shot's coming, he's calm, he's composed, and that's why he's able to make these saves that you're seeing. It's all very calm, but it all comes back to his balance and his set position, which has been perfect so far tonight.
Out for another San Diego throw. It still feels like we have a couple more twists and turns in store for us here. The defenses tonight and the goalkeepers have just been tremendous.
It almost has that playoff type of feel, doesn't it? You're getting a lot of that last-ditch defending, some big-time goalkeeping, big-time goal scorers getting opportunities. It has that playoff feel to it, which is what you want to feel this time of the season between 2 teams like this.
Poked in for Bodley into Conway. Still 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Corona. Down the line for Adrian Perez. Perez assessing his options. Lays it off. First time ball in is cleared by Ownby.
Ownby getting his minutes in tonight. We talked about the importance of him being in the starting lineup. So far, it's been an 80-minute shift. We'll see if he rides it out, but you're seeing the importance of him being on the field for his team for the whole 90 minutes.
Fans head to Twitter to vote for tonight's Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match. Poll will be open for the next few minutes. Vote now at twitter.com/Lou City. I think we've got a candidate for that.
I think we do. What I love about it, it's a young goalkeeper, and with every save, I was the same way. I'm not the type to react, to make a big deal out of saves you make. You do your job, you make the saves, you keep your team in the game. And I love seeing this from a young goalkeeper. He's calm, he's composed, and he's extremely confident in all the things that he's doing. We talked with Coach Danny Cruz about whether or not the last game was Serrati's, right? There was a mistake, there was a miscommunication. He blamed it on other players and the miscommunication. It could have been the goalkeeper's fault. It's all about how you respond. Your team wants to see a goalkeeper that responds to mistakes. They don't care if you make the mistake. It's all about how you respond. His response tonight has been an incredible performance. There's still 10 minutes to go. He's had 5 or 6 big-time saves. He's been calm on crosses. He's been good with his distribution. And that's what you want to see out of any goalkeeper, but especially a young goalkeeper.
Chavi Nalati just came on for Joe Corona. Another fortunate change. Harris on the attack for Louisville. Smacks it up against Grant Stoneman. And it's out for a Louisville throw under 10 minutes of the 90. Plus stoppage time still to go. Do have an update from one of the other games that impacts Lou City. Pittsburgh have scored against Miami. That helps Louisville out. If they can hang on here and get the win, they would just need Tulsa to drop points. And that would clinch a playoff spot for Lou City tonight. Still more work to do here as Elijah Winder wins a corner off of Colin Martin.
These are the types of games, though, right? These are exciting games. It feels like a playoff atmosphere. It feels like a playoff-type game. Both teams gunning for the 3 points. You're getting these big-time performances, and that's what makes this time of the season so much fun. If you're a fan, if you're a player, if you're a coach, this is why you get invested early in the season, so you can enjoy these types of games and these types of moments.
And Lou City find that all-important second goal. It's in by Maris. Adams, the former San Diego man, was closest to it. It's hit by Serrano. It was a bit ambitious from the youngster. 21-year-old skies his chance.
Yeah, we would have been on SportsCenter top 10 if we got that one on the net. That was a bit ambitious there, but you can't blame him. He's on the field. He's looking for that goal. He had eyes for it. You're never going to fault the forward for wanting to try to put the ball on the net.
Thomas against his former teammate, Kyle Adams, and then he fouls Manny Perez. It's a Louisville free kick. He has not wasted any time in making an impact, Ronaldo Damas. See if he could still put his name up in lights here tonight.
you want to see out of your substitutes. They need to bring that energy into the game, and he's done exactly that.
Played ahead by Adams. Ownby won the header, but it's too close to Vegas. This is the lone September home game for Lou City. They'll be out for some tough road tests still to come, and including tonight, 6 regular season games left, 5 left after this evening's game. So, you know, really hit the home stretch. There's no question about that. And for San Diego, 2nd of 3 straight cross-country road trips for them. In their game notes, and Nate Miller said this to us as well, said they're the most traveled team in world football is the quote that they put down there. And when you look at how big the United States is, they might have a point there.
Yeah, geographically, they get to live in a beautiful place, but
Yeah.
in terms of travel, I guess
Yeah.
that's the trade-off. But those are just the types of things that teams have to deal with, but those are also the types of things that build character and that build that team camaraderie, right? We talked about how everybody knows that this is San Diego's last season. The players know that. They've known that for a while. These types of trips, you have to enjoy them. As a player, you know that this is going to be the last time that the locker room's together. You have to enjoy them, and you have to try to make the most of them.
Conway ahead to Damas. We know what he can do, Ronaldo Damas, but too many shirts that are purple around him. And the attack fizzles out for San Diego after a good challenge by Sean Tosh.
Yeah, that's a couple moments here where the hard work and energy that we were applying early in the game has gotten the best of him a little bit with a couple fouls, but you still don't mind it. You want to see that type of energy. You want to see that type of effort. And if you get a little ticky foul, that's okay.
He's been the star tonight. Stolen the show a bit. It was Wilson Harris's show the first few minutes of the match, and there's been Oliver Zemla once again has come to Louisville's rescue tonight. Multiple occasions. Could be in line for another clean sheet if it stays like this as well. Ownby left a little bit on that challenge. Blake Bodley tried to break down this near sign.
Good individual effort there by Bodley, able to dribble out of that pressure, drawing the foul from Ownby. Might have been worth the yellow card, but the ref didn't see it that way.
Say if the Gibson challenge was a yellow, that one could have definitely fallen into the category, but as you rightly said, Jeff, not to be. They play on.
I think it was just a little bit higher up the field. If it was a little bit more on Louisville's defensive half, they probably would have gotten a yellow card for it.
San Diego keep on pushing here. Adams is taken down by Harris, the goal scorer. It is a San Diego free kick, which they take quickly. Riley. Perez. Adrian Perez has been active, but he's dispossessed by Maris. Maris fights off Perez. And it's a pass into no man's land in the end by Serrano that allows Stoneman to reset for the Loyal. Bodley. Up ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a World of Beer yellow card for Manny Perez.
A little bit of gamesmanship there from Conway. He gets Perez to react, but that's all instigated by Conway there. He baited him into it. But if you're Perez in this type of moment, especially, you don't want to be drawing yellow cards. Anything to give your team the edge, but Conway doing a good job. Just irking Perez just enough to draw him to get that push.
Morgan Hackworth, while that was all happening, came on for Carlos Guzman, a Fortuna substitution for San Diego. Martin Powells is getting set to come on for Lou City. All 6'7" of him to replace Wilson Harris. It's a nice ovation after giving Lou City potentially a game-winning goal once again.
It's a nice weapon to have coming off your bench. Big target for it at 6'7". Great work from Harris, our player to watch tonight. Did what he was on the field to do. He put the ball in early, did some of the dirty work. It's exactly what you're looking for out of your target forward.
Fortin a substitution, and Powell's scored what turned out to be the winning goal at Colorado Springs a couple of matches ago for Lou City. Hope to help get the boys in purple over the line here. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Ownby looks for him right away. It's headed out only as far as Maris. Maris tries to recycle the possession. Hackworth is there. Of course, Morgan Hackworth is the son of the former head coach John Hackworth, who led Lou City to glory a few years back.
Not a bad strategy there by Ownby. You get the ball out wide, you have a 6'7" player in the box. You try to put the ball in the box and let his height do his thing.
Okay, Vegas resets for San Diego. It's one of those games where you're just wondering when the next chance is going to come. There's been so many of them. As we enter the 90th minute, San Diego still looking to get back on level terms. They've been behind since the 5th minute. Turn there from Nalazzi, who wanted it back. Bodily on the near side. Adams whips in a decent ball towards Damas, headed away by Adams. Nalazzi tried to keep it alive. It's good control by Gibson, who sends it upfield. San Diego will get the ball back.
Good awareness by the Louisville backline. That cross seemingly came out of nowhere. Takes his touch, picks his heads up, puts a dangerous ball into the box, but Louisville was switched on. They need to be in these last minutes. They're going to be dumping the ball in the box, trying to create chances out of nothing.
Thomas has been a handful for some, but Sean Tosh has done a nice job the last few times and fends him off again. And Zemla controls for Lou City as we approach stoppage time. The 4 added minutes at the end of a thrilling contest. Is Wilson Harris's goal going to be enough for Louisville? Bodley wins the header. Riley gets the second ball. Still time for San Diego to get a point here in the last minutes of the game. Stillman. Adams. Colin Martin assesses his options. Cam Riley. Flick down the line for Nalazzi on the far side. That'll be just fine from a Lou City perspective as it's out for a throw.
San Diego sticking to their game plan, still trying to build, but eventually with this much time left down a goal, you're going to have to start lumping this ball in the box and start making it a little bit up here. Get some numbers up in front of the box, start putting the Louisville backline under pressure, make them win crosses. Good opportunity to do it here.
Havels involved in a free kick for San Diego. 2.5 minutes left for the Loyal. Martin forced back by Powells, who's all over him. And Vegas is able to give Martin an avenue out of there. Pings the ball forward onto this near side, and there's too much on it for Ronaldo Damas.
That's the right idea, though. Good ball over the top, try to skip those lines of pressure, get the ball up the field. And this is okay if you're San Diego as well. This is where you step your group up, try to win the ball, turn them over in their back half so you can start putting in dangerous chances and put Louisville under a little bit of pressure here. You only got 2 minutes left. The urgency has to ramp up in the attack. You got to try a little bit of a different strategy to create chances out of nothing.
Stoneman. Put away by Tosh. Powells nudges it into the path of Maris. Pushes it. As the substitute Hackworth. Threaded ball back for Maris. Maris! It's blocked, and it's over the top of Vegas' goal and out for a corner as Lou City nearly sealed the deal, I should say.
Smart counterattacking play here by Louisville. They're able to find that space. Picks his head up. It's a good last-ditch effort. We've seen a lot of that from San Diego tonight, defenders putting their bodies on the line. But if you're Maris, he has eyes for the goal. Able to find himself, picks his head up, draws the corner. Now you want to see them put the ball in the corner and try to waste a little bit more of this clock.
A minute left for Lou City to see it out. Powells will take it into the corner. Trying to fend off everybody. Maris is in the middle, trying to find Ownby, who was wide open. The two defenders for San Diego snuff out the chance. Gibson trying to clear it. Nalati has it for San Diego, but he's dispossessed by Winder. And then it's handled by Adrian Perez. That's a Lou City free kick with 30 seconds left.
Winder doing a good job there, slowing that attack down. It looked like San Diego had a chance for a transitional moment there. Does a good job getting his body in front of the ball and winning it back. And every second that ticks off now means so much for Louisville.
Former loyal defender Kyle Adams will take the free kick. It's over everybody's head. Vegas has to be quick here for San Diego. They don't have much time left. There's a minimum of 4, but there's not a lot of seconds left to be played here. Ball sent into the mixer. Adams wins the header, and that's full time here in Louisville. A really impressive win for Lou City here. It was a really entertaining contest. Could have had a lot more goals, but the defenses for both teams shined throughout the match. And in the end, Wilson Harris's 5th-minute goal is enough for Louisville to take one step closer to clinching a playoff berth. And in the end, Harris's goal got the evening started, but it was Oliver Zemla's heroics between the posts that ended up being a huge difference in the game. It's a clean sheet presented by Mortensen Family Dental, and they wouldn't have gotten it without the rookie goalkeeper putting together another tremendous performance.
Tack on another clean sheet to his already impressive season. It was save after save in the second half, keeping Louisville in it. It's his balance, it's his composure, and really just his ability to stay calm under the pressure moments that separates him from the pack of goalkeepers right now. And the fact that he's only a rookie and he's doing it at this high level is something that is extremely impressive. Great performance, great bounce back performance for him tonight, keeping the clean sheet and making sure his team got the 3 points.
Oliver Zemla is really Lou City's hero tonight. Wilson Harris is the match winner for Louisville. It's a 3 points that puts Lou City on the cusp if results go their way in Miami and Oakland of clinching a playoff spot. We'll step aside. Lou City beats San Diego, and they end up sweeping the all-time series between these two in the regular season. We'll take a break, and we will wrap things up next.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Kroger, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Boost by Kroger Plus is more than worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it. With 2 times fuel points and free delivery, you can save up to $1,000 per year. Try Boost free for 30 days. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Well, they say the grass is greener there, but ours is dreamy blue. And there's no place I would rather be than Kentucky with you.
It's game time, baby. Are you ready? 'Cause I'm ready. It's game time. It's game time. It's game time. 'Cause it's game time. It's game time. Cause it's game time.
Post-game is presented to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. And tonight's final score is brought to you by the Gorski Law Office. Wilson Harris scoring in the 5th minute. Wins it for Louisville, and some big-time saves from Oliver Zemla. Key in Louisville beating San Diego by a goal to nil. Really, really strong contest of the highest order tonight in the USL Championship. Let's recap it with some full-time highlights. And Jeff, we begin in the 5th minute with that Wilson Harris opening goal.
Surprisingly, the only goal of the night with how many chances were created, but Omi does a good job picking his head up, and that's the importance of having him on the field from the start of the game. He's able to make a difference at any moment on the field. Takes a touch inside, creates space for himself, picks his head up, finds Gonzalez on the back post, who was winning these headers against the center backs all night. He's able to get a good opportunity on net. Vegas with a big save, but Harris is there. We've talked about him before the game being the player to watch. He's had an eye for the goal lately for Louisville. In the right place at the right time, makes no mistake about it. Ends up being the game winner, which I said was surprising, and that's because of big defensive and goalkeeping performances. Big save here from Vegas, able to deal with the deflection to clear the line of play. But this is what we were seeing all night: big time performances from defenses, from goalkeepers, and really just putting their bodies on the line in this playoff type of atmosphere.
Yeah, 28th minute, Lou City kept on coming. This was the first of 2 goal line clearances from Joe Corona.
That's 2 times in this game where that near post player was so important, and a lot of coaches will pull that player off the post. But if you're a goalkeeper, you say, leave my defenders on the post, I need the help. And we saw why tonight. Corona with that big time clearance off the line.
Then Conway nearly beats Zemla here, but he was a man of the match man tonight for Lou City.
For me, this is the best save of the night because he remains so balanced here. You're talking about Conway has 10 league goals, one of the best goal scorers in this league. Makes this save look easy. When a goalkeeper is making hard saves look easy, that's how you know they're in a rhythm. That's how you know they're in a good space. And he was doing that all night and really kept Louisville. And for me, he was the reason that Louisville was able to get 3 points tonight.
Peyton Masters full-time match stats. Remember, San Diego had 1 shot and no shots on target at halftime. They woke up in the second half, but Lou City's defense held on for the 3 points.
It did. I think that early goal really shocked the momentum of this game a little bit because they really put Louisville on the front foot for about the first 30-35 minutes, and it took San Diego a little bit of time to respond. But once they were able to respond, they were able to regain that possession, break down that Louisville defense, catch up on shots on goal, and like I said, if it wasn't for Zemla, we might have been telling a different story at the end of this, but at the end of it, Louisville gets the big 3 points. They're up in the Eastern Conference standings now, and again, Zemla, the rookie, with a big-time performance.
And Lou City fans get free small Frosties from Wendy's on top of all of that. For Jeff Atzenella and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Louisville. A thrilling contest, an upper echelon contest, ends with Louisville beating San Diego by a goal to nil. A really fun affair.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! By Carlos Guzman. Now Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way. And Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped 2-0. Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas. A little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego in a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson puts the ball in. Looking for Winder, it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again. Great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano. And Serrano is going to be booked as well. The two Louisville Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a world debut. Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! Vegas denies Gonzalez, but on the follow-up, Wilson Harris scores for Louisville. And the boys in purple land the first blow and take a 1-0 lead. Seventh goal of the season for Wilson Harris. Right place, right time, and Louisville score inside of 5 minutes. Slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! Vegas denies Gonzalez, but on the follow-up, Wilson Harris scores for Louisville. And the boys in purple land the first blow and take a 1-0 lead. Seventh goal of the season for Wilson Harris. Right place, right time, and Louisville score inside of 5 minutes. Slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! Vegas denies Gonzalez, but on the follow-up, Wilson Harris scores for Louisville. And the boys in purple land the first blow and take a 1-0 lead. Seventh goal of the season for Wilson Harris. Right place, right time, and Louisville score inside of 5 minutes. Slicing ball that's picked off in the end here by the speedster Manny Perez. Leaves it for Ownby. Ownby puts it into the middle. Oh, great save. Harris scores! Vegas denies Gonzalez, but on the follow-up, Wilson Harris scores for Louisville. And the boys in purple land the first blow and take a 1-0 lead. Seventh goal of the season for Wilson Harris. Right place, right time, and Louisville score inside of 5 minutes. Away by Carlos Guzman. Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way, and Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped Tumino Shaban in his tracks.
That's the right decision there.
Away by Carlos Guzman. Now Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way, and Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped Tumino Shaban in his tracks.
That's the right decision there.
Way by Carlos Guzman. Now Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way, and Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped Tumi Noshaban in his tracks.
That's the right decision there.
Way by Carlos Guzman. Now Conway looks to lead the break for San Diego the other way, and Sharpie did hold up that counterattack and is going to be booked for doing so as he stopped Tumi Noshaban in his tracks.
That's the right decision there.
Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas. A little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego in a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson, with his first challenge, is booked as well.
That's all.
Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas. A little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego in a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson, with his first challenge, is booked as well.
That's all.
Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas. A little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego in a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson, with his first challenge, is booked as well.
That's all.
Camden Riley clears for San Diego. Damas does well to try to hold up the play. Still Damas. A little bit of a nibble there from Gibson. Sees San Diego in a free kick after some good work from the substitute. And Gibson, with his first challenge, is booked as well.
That's all.
Puts the ball in, looking for Winder, it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again, great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano, and Serrano is going to be booked as well. The two Louisville substitutes, as quickly as they've come on, haven't been able to deal with Damas, and they both... Puts the ball in, looking for Winder, it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again, great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano, and Serrano is going to be booked as well. The two Louisville substitutes, as quickly as they've come on, haven't been able to deal with Damas, and they both... Puts the ball in, looking for Winder, it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again, great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano, and Serrano is going to be booked as well. The two Louisville substitutes, as quickly as they've come on, haven't been able to deal with Damas, and they both... Puts the ball in, looking for Winder, it looked like, but it was headed away. Damas again, great extra effort. Gets it away from Gibson. Held back by Serrano, and Serrano is going to be booked as well. The two Louisville substitutes, as quickly as they've come on, haven't been able to deal with Damas, and they both... Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a world debut. Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a world debut. Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a world debut. Bodley. Ahead for Conway. Tosh almost easing him off the ball there. Very professional job defending there, although Manny Perez bumps into Conway and is booked for doing so on the back end after some great defending again by Sean Tosh. It's a world debut.